Hey, this is Nev from Snake Mountain, and we will be releasing our new single, Veins, on the 27th of January. And we are here talking with Chris Peters, who is kind enough to look after us with Heavy Mag. Thank you very much, brother.
No, thank you, Neville. Thanks for joining us tonight, mate.
No worries. No worries. Thank you.
The shoes on the other foot a bit, mate. You're on. You got the good radio voice happening there. You obviously done something like this before.
I've attempted.
You've got the good radio voice anyway, mate. You're sort of making me feel a little bit inadequate on this side of town.
You are the best, mate. You
the sultry voice himself.
Oh, mate. So what do you got there? What were you just drinking? What was that?
Southern Comfort and cola. A little bit of
look at that.
Bit of a ladies' drink, but you know, you sort of beggars can't be choosers. I like to be in touch with my feminine side every now and then. But we won't tell anyone. We'll keep that between us.
Yeah.
Oh, Shivs, as you mentioned, mate, like Snake Mountain are releasing your new single Veins via Heavy at 6 p.m. Queensland time on January the 25th. So tell us a bit about the song from a musical point of view, bro, and what you're going for with it.
Well, it is definitely heavier. It's heavier than what we've done before, and that's due to members that joined during the I won't even say the word, but you know, the apocalypse that happened. We had a bit of a change in lineup where Kristian and Jaymes joined us, and they just brought a new energy and a new style that I guess that we've been chasing for a long time. Jaymes in particular is just an incredible songwriter. He loves his tech death, as you can probably hear in the song. And he's just really brought some new energy and life to Snake Mountain that we've needed for a while. And Jackson Price as well, who's recently joined us, has a ton of ideas he's bringing to the band as well. It's been amazing working with him. And of course, Jared, who's been with the band for a long time. I feel like, you know, we're a really good unit and friends, like really good friends too.
Yeah, that's actually going to be my next point. Like the press release calls the song a demonstration of the group's new heavier musical direction. Like I want to know, how is that even possible, mate? Like you guys are brutal enough as it is. How are you going in a heavy direction?
I don't know. I guess before the band started off many years ago with a totally different vibe. It was more, I guess when we started, it had more of a Mastodon-y sort of vibe to it, and it just got heavier over time, depending on the guitarist that jumped on board. So, but I'm into that sort of heavier tech sort of stuff, so it's kind of more up my alley as well. So, I don't know. I don't know if there is heavier than what I guess we could. It's a challenge.
You could have a crack.
I don't know, more blast beats. You know, I saw Werewolves the other night and they melted my face off. So maybe I'll just have to write a song called "We Stole This from Werewolves." I don't know.
So from a listener's point of view, mate, like I know what I think defines the heaviness of the song, but from a musician's point of view, mate, like what actually does define the heaviness of a song?
That's a really good question.
I know. I was waiting for you to say that to me.
That's a really good question. No, I don't think I've thought about that, because you can't really define how do you, because one man's heavy is a different man's sort of. You know what I mean? I don't know. You got me. You got me. I don't know, because blast beats.
You can't edit that bit out either. You got to leave that in.
Oh, no, leave it. No, don't edit. No, I'm stumbling over myself here, but. Yeah, no, that is a very good question, you know, because everyone's got their own, I don't know, idea of what heavy is. But for me, when I think of heavy, I think of blast beats and tremolo picking and guttural screaming and all that. But you can also go another way, where I guess you've heard a lot of albums over time that have an emotional weight to it, where it's not necessarily all blast beats and screaming, but there's lyrically or melodically and atmospherically, I don't know if that's a word. Made that up. Atmospherically, but you know what I mean? It's I've heard some albums over my time where emotionally it's very heavy and it's very weighty. So I don't know. I guess it's Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Can you get back to me on that later on if you want, mate? I'll give you a bit of time to let it digest.
How much time we got? All right.
And so, from a lyrical point of view, mate, Baines pays respect to one of Ozzy Osbourne's favorite creatures from Gotham City. So, why choose him as the focus?
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. Well, with all our songs, they are, of course, pop culture inspired by the characters. And this one, I always wanted to write a song from the perspective of someone who, as I said in the press release, someone who's driven and obsessed by, I guess, their mental illness and the tragedy that's something that's interested me about the character the most, that people don't really talk about. They think of the old TV series from the 60s with Adam West. They don't, and you've got your Christian Bale, and but when you really dive into it, he's a tortured man and an angry man with reason, of course. That's something I really want to explore, was the violent side of that character.
So how did you flesh that out, like, lyrically?
I guess I just sat with the song for a little while and thought, what goes through his mind when he goes out to do what he does. That's what, how would I feel if I was in that position where I was. It's a hard one to explain. There's so much history within that character, but I guess the latest movie that was released sort of explored it a little bit. It was just, it was trying to get into the mindset of a man like that. I found it interesting.
Yeah. So which, like, did you focus on one particular? There's been a few Batmans over the years. Did you focus on one particular Batman when sort of writing it, or did you sort of encompass all of them?
More all of them. Yeah, just in general. Like, I really love the Miller stuff. Batman animated series stuff where it was a little bit darker, but just in general, yeah.
So we could be working up to a concept album here, mate. You could focus on a different superhero and write something about their tortured past on all of them.
Well, possibly. I mean, we've got some other. Well, each of our songs have always been, I guess, about the villains in the stories, But this is the first time I've really focused on the hero and maybe the anti-hero. I don't know, depending on where you.
Well, is he really a hero though? When you think about it,
that's it. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Goes out every night and beats the shit out of people, and
with his nipples on the outside of his costume. Like, how can you trust a man like that?
Yeah, that's right. And he's very smart. He's the smartest man in the room. You know what I mean? Like, this dude who's, the world's, as they say, the world's greatest detective, but just violent and dangerous.
All the essential ingredients.
Yeah, to make a death metal song. Yeah.
And how about the film clip, mate? You're releasing a film clip to go with it. So how does that tie in with the theme?
Well, I guess there's a little, without spoiling it, I mean, there's some little flashes in there of some gangsters and stuff like that. And this, I guess we couldn't use the imagery without getting a couple of lawyers on the front door. But it doesn't directly tie in, but it captures, I guess, the vibe of what I was going for lyrically.
And the film clip was done by our Gold Coast filmmakers Kyle Watson and Rhiannon Griggs, mate. So aside from the obvious lure of supporting local artists, why did you choose them? What did they bring to it?
I've known Kyle for a very long time, since back in my days working at Music Mania. And I remember when he said that he was starting to work in film and special effects and things like that. And he showed me some of his work, and he's just incredible. The dude is just an absolute genius and has such a great eye for visuals, and not only just metal stuff, but also he's done hip hop. He's done stuff with stunts. Like, what he did with us was quite small compared to what he's worked on before. But he's incredible, and he was so easy to work with. Him and Ree, she's amazing. His partner, they were so helpful and just on time, on the clock. They were just we only had a limited amount of time to do it. It was very rushed, but what they pulled together in that time, and just little ideas they threw in there, like it's such a great experience. It's one of the best experiences I've had shooting a video before.
Very cool. So Baines is Snake Mountain's first new music since 2019's song The Hunted. So I know you're a busy guy, bro, but 3 years is it's a long time between drinks.
It is. That is very true. But we have had a lineup change in that time. And there was that other thing that happened where, I don't know,
And that was supposed to help people creatively, though, because you didn't have much to do.
Yeah, but I was doing other things.
Oh, yeah.
I was got caught up talking to other people like you do. But it was, we had to sort of reboot things, and it really needed to happen within the band. And we went for a little while there where we weren't sure where we were going, musically, and Shane, my best mate, who I started playing music with back when I was like 12. He was a drummer. He was with Snake Mountain pretty much from the beginning, and he'd actually stopped playing music completely. So it was just finding the right people and everything like that took a little bit of time, but the magic happened when it was both Kristian and Jaymes came as a package. They both were on board. They wanted to jam. We jammed. We needed a drummer and guitarist, and they needed, and it all came together that way. So in saying that, we will be releasing a lot more music this year, though.
Cool. So we're not going to have to wait another 3 years.
Well, who knows? I don't want to, because every time this happens, I go, yeah, it's going to be like 3 weeks, and then nothing happens. But the plan is to release a lot more music and play a lot more shows.
I'm backing you in on that one, brother. I'm in your corner.
Thank you, man.
Just
crack the whip, mate. Just crack the whip.
Mate, I was going to say, I do know where you live now, so I can crack that whip. I don't remember how to get there, but I know where it is.
Come on, it's around the corner.
And speaking of shows, man, you've also got a couple of awesome ones coming up. Firstly, with Burst, Chuff, and Awful Noise at Vinny's Dive Bar on February the 10th. And then the following night, the closing farewell show, actually, for Minus Life at the Mansfield Tavern. So not a bad couple of shows back to back.
I'm really pumped for these shows. The one with Chuff and Awful Noise and Burst, that came out of nowhere. That was one that we weren't really expecting, but I'm really stoked we're playing that one. That's going to be really, really cool. It's a bit of a different lineup. The Minus Life one, love those guys. I've played many shows with them over the years, in different bands, and I feel very, very lucky to be included in their final ever show, especially with, some of Australia's best bands. Like Black Lava are incredible. Freedom of Fear are like our favorite band at the moment. Man, Ancient Remains are sick. Alarm, I remember playing shows with Alarm back years ago, and it's just, both shows are very different, and I think they're both going to be very different experiences as too for the punters. So if you get your tickets now, guys, and just come along. It's going to be incredible. Good time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good times indeed. I know you've got a couple other shows planned for later on in the year, but people can wait for that announced because we got these first two to get through first. So in the meantime, your first new music in 3 years, Baines, is out on January the 25th, the day before Australia Day, via Heavy at 6 p.m. Queensland time, or 7 p.m. for you Southerners. And she's a fucking awesome cracker of a song, mate. Just what we'd expect from you guys, but better. So well done.
Thank you, man. And thanks for having me on the show. It's been an absolute pleasure to be included in your massive, I don't know, your resume of artists that you've had on here.
Well, you're probably one of the easiest people I've spoken to the whole time, mate. So it was easy. It was a pleasure.
Oh, mate, legend. Thank you.
Cool.